everybody, Flip and Dani here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right. And today's episode is entitled Investing and the Value of Time.
Oh my goodness. Somehow I kind of knew you were going to do something like that. We've been married a long time.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for that. So anyway, we're going to talk about investing in the value of time, and so this is, you and I walked through this before we started this one, and I love this one. This is great. This is going to be eye opener for some people.
Yes, 100%. So we're going to talk about three definitions at the very top of it. The first one is inflation. So inflation is just a general increase in prices and the fall in the purchasing power of money, and we're going to give you a little bit of an example of that in just a moment. But the second definition
is simple interest, and this is something that we do, which is interest on your original contribution.
That's right. And we'll give you an example so you understand that better. And the last definition for this episode is compound interest, which is interest on interest.
I like compound. I like compound.
All right, Flip, you're going to give examples,
yeah,
right?
So the simple interest, and so this is what many of our private lenders have done, is a general contribution of $100,000.
Yep.
At 8% interest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's typically at 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the simple interest is 8% on that original contribution, which is $8,000 on the $100,000.
Yep.
And then, well, you multiply that by 5, and 8 times 5 is 40. So at the end of 5 years, you will get back $100,000 and $40,000.
That's right.
So $140,000. So you'll make $40,000 on that simple interest.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, if you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, this is your chance right now. I know you see the like button right here, and you see the heart button right there. This is your chance in the video to smash these buttons. Make sure you hit that heart button. Make sure you hit that like button if you like what you're seeing and if you enjoy what you're watching. But this is your chance right now to smash.
And just remember, this is how we show social media algorithms that you like what we're sharing. So if we're adding any kind of value over this 365-day series, we hope you'll help us out by sharing the love.
Yeah. So again, Hulk smash. Then there's compound interest.
Yes.
And it's called compound because it's more difficult. It should just be called difficult interest. So that $100,000 at 8% after that first year, you have $108,000.
Yes. Now, in this example, let's just clarify, you're going to compound annually.
Annually, yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's lots of variables. We're going to just use it. We're going to say annually for the ease of this podcast.
I was about to say, simplicity, please.
So at the end of the first year, you'd have your $100,000 plus the 8%, which is $8,000. Mm-hmm. So at the end of year one, you have $108,000. Well, year two, you have $108,000 times 8%. So that adds another $86,440. So at the end,
because that was the definition, right? Now that's where that ties in. Interest on interest
is interest on interest.
That's
exactly.
Right.
So at the end of year two, you have $116,640. Then another 8% on year two, on that total. Year three, another 8%. Year four, another 8%. Year five, 8%. And hopefully, I'll be able to show you all these numbers because I'm cool. But at the end of 5 years, you're actually going to have $146,932.81. So the difference between simple and compound interest is $6,932.81. So it is, and that's just using simple numbers.
Yes.
But the more complex the numbers, the larger the numbers, the bigger that difference is between the two.
That's right, because we could have compounded quarterly, right?
Yes.
Which is actually something we might be doing in the future with our investments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we want to educate people about because it's powerful, simple interest versus compound interest.
Right.
And every dollar counts.
Yep.
So when we talked earlier about inflation, I said we were going to give an example. Mm-hmm. So the dollar example is $1 today is worth more than $1 in the future. That's an example of inflation. What did we had talked about?
Well, we were talking about like a bag of chips.
Yeah.
20 years ago, and that's just such a random number.
Yes.
But 20 years ago, a bag of chips, 25 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You'd be lucky to be able to buy a bag of chips today for 25 cents. So $1 today could buy 4 bags of chips back in the day. Mm-hmm. But today, that dollar, like I said, you'd be lucky to buy 1 bag of chips, let alone 4. Yes. So it's just. That's
it's a perfect example.
And it's just using little potato chips.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other things you could use as an example. But,
yes.
Gas. We won't even get there. Anyway. But time is literally money.
Yes. And that's really the example we're trying to every time somebody says time is money, you don't really think about it. They're being as literal, as you can get that statement.
Yep.
And it's powerful and something that we should all be thinking about. So money can only grow by investing, and delaying this investment journey is an opportunity lost. And I think that that's the biggest takeaway of this episode is that so many times the money myth episode that we did, talking about when you're young, you think you have all of this time, or why should I start saving now, or I don't make enough to even put into savings.
Right.
All these little things, every single day that you say something like that is a lost day and a lost opportunity. And in the example of compound interest, that was only 5 years. And we did the simplistic example of only compounding annually instead of quarterly or monthly. So there's just such power in time that every delay or day that you have indecision is, just it's lost ability to increase this passive income that we all want to have in order to have freedom. So it's very much about figure out what makes you comfortable in taking action today. Because if you can take action today on $50,000 because you have 300, well, then that's something, right?
Yep.
We've talked to many doctors where they've got money sitting in the bank. It's losing value, but they don't know where else to put it. They don't know who to trust. And so it's just sitting there.
And they feel better that it's just sitting there instead of, because they don't know.
Yeah, because they're scared. They're scared of not knowing what to do. That is a perfect example of just take $50,000 and say, I'm going to try this out. How many times have we given that examples that private money lenders do that for us all the time? Yeah. So
all I got is 50.
That's right. So just take action. No matter how small it is, take action because time is money, and that's the truth. So we want to invite you to our social media groups.
That's right.
And come in and listen to these private conversations that we're having. I'm going to start doing more videos. I'm going to ask my team, what we can do to start engaging and teaching and answering questions more in these groups. You can join us in Facebook. And it's facebook.com/groups/freedom through a passive income.
That's
you could
right.
also join us on LinkedIn just by searching in the search bar, freedom through passive income. If you're watching the video, you're going to see some links on here. If you're on YouTube, you're going to see it in the description. You can just go boom, click.
Boom, click.
Feel free to visit our website too, freedomcapitalinvestments.com.
That's
and
right.
I always love to say, love the videos.
That's right.
Not every little thing has a love button.
See the
LinkedIn has
little
got
heart.
clapped hands. YouTube just has a thumbs up.
LinkedIn's got a heart. I think LinkedIn has a heart.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, just react to the videos. Let us know that you're enjoying them.
Exactly.
If we're adding value, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. Please, even the likes and loves, that allows the algorithms to be able to share it. So that's really why we're asking you to do it, because we want to share this with as many people as possible. And we can do that by your interaction and your reviews and your comments and subscriptions. So thank you in advance for all that you do.
That's right.
And we always like to end the episodes with Invest Smart.
Live happy.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Nothing on the show should be considered specific personal or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.